Hi and welcome in a new video. In today's video I'm going to try and help you by solving a rather unique problem that can take place when you have configured two-factor authentication in WordPress and haven't been careful with your time zone settings. As you may know or may not know, two-factor authentication depends on the client time, that is your device on which you install the authenticator like your phone, and it compares it with the host time. So that usually goes well, but in WordPress you can make a mistake that I made, and I'm hoping that this video will help you, well, prevent you from making the same mistake, because if the times get desynced or wrong, your codes will stop working. And why that happened in my case was because of summertime. As you can see on my screen, I shows the time zone UTC +1, which was more or less correct because that's the time zone I live in. And for most of the year, that was no problem. That was a correct time. But what happens is, by not choosing a city or a location, WordPress did not know that summertime and winter time applies. So right now I'm looking at the screen and it says that local time is 19:01:10, while in reality it's already 8 o'clock. So I'm an hour further because all my devices update automatically. And the problem is that by in time zone I shows UTC +1. So what you have to do if you live in a time zone where summer and winter time applies is go back to time zone. We are in settings and general, so click that first. And what you do is click time zone and scroll up to the region that applies to you. For example, there's Africa, America, Antarctica, Asia, Europe, and I need to be in Brussels because that's where I live, more or less. And what I do now is, if I save the changes, you would see that the local time would advance an hour and it would be set at 20:01:10. Doing this would resolve my problem because the client and the website time would be in sync again. So if you are having a problem with two-factor authentication that is set up in WordPress, which is something you should really do, I recommend using the two-factor authentication plugin. That's actually its name. It says that it's still in beta, but don't let that discourage you. It's a great plugin. I will link to it in the description. It offers you the option to receive codes by mail or by one-time passwords or by keeping a file of codes. You've got a bunch of options. So if you have that set up and you suddenly notice that your two-factor authentication isn't working anymore and you live in an area where summer and winter time applies, make sure to check those WordPress settings. The same thing can happen in other CMSs, of course. I guess it can happen in Joomla, but I'm not sure. Make sure to check those time zone settings and choose the location or the location closest to you that applies, and don't use those etc +1 settings because those don't change. Hopefully that helps you when you have a similar problem, and hopefully it helps you get back inside your website. Now you may be wondering how I managed to get inside the website, other than the fact that this is a test website. What I did was, when I created my account and I set up the two-factor authentication with a one-time password, I made sure to set up a backup option. In this case, I have configured email so I can receive a code by email. When you set up two-factor authentication, always make sure to have backup. You can choose to use SMS or your email address, whatever they are offering you. Never get complacent and think, oh, no, nothing is ever going to happen with my option. Make sure you have more than one option. That's an absolute must, because otherwise you put yourself at risk for being unable to log into your own website or your own account, and that's a risk you simply can't take. Just set up more than one option. Choose any options available. I don't know if I should suggest downloading codes if you have that option, but if you can, store them somewhere safe, like in LastPass. Download those codes. You can never have enough backup options. And make sure that those backup options are active. Like if you enable your phone and texting is an option, make sure to revisit that website yearly to make sure that your number is still accessible. I've had it happen with me multiple times that I changed phone number, so suddenly that option was invalid, and then you have to go through the loop of contacting support and likes. You don't want that. So hopefully this video helped you avoid problems with syncing with time, and I hope that I have another video for you soon that will help you get the most out of your websites. Thank you for watching this video, and we'll see each other another time.